Hello, welcome back to Essentials TF's coverage of poLANd qualifiers. It's beginning to look a bit like Poland. Ben, we've only got a couple of months to go. Are you excited?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it should be a banger. And these qualifiers, don't anything to go by so far. It should be a very good event coming up. Obviously, got a lot of the top teams coming in, but the full team list is still yet to be decided. And the fates of all but four of the teams has been settled, as there's now only four teams left in this sort of decider bracket. That's poundLAN, Blocking Hazard, Potop Szwedzki, and Three Steps Back. And of those, Potop Szwedzki and Three Steps Back didn't have the greatest of fortunes in their first game, both losing out, and that's the game that we're going to be covering just now. These two teams wanting to get themselves on the scoreboard in this bracket.
Yeah, I've got a couple of golden oldies way back from when I was just a little lad. Got Alba, Smire, Bevan, Onkaya, players that I remember, and a couple that my memories aren't as good of, which is Gar and Satan. And then on the other side, a couple of players that have been decently around higher divisions. Well, as a low player myself, everything is a high division, but it should be a good match.
Yeah, absolutely. And one person I want to point out specifically and call out on the Three Steps Back side is, of course, LF Beans, for two reasons. One, because of my love of beans, and also two, because of his very shiny head that he has after betting his hair on beating Alien Workshop in their final game of their first round, which did not occur. So now Beans has a very shiny bald head after that one. So he's going to try and get some sort of redemption after trying to get in. It'd be really rough to do that, shave the hair off, and then not make it to LAN anyway in that decider bracket after going all in against Alien Workshop.
Well, he's threatening to shave something else if he loses. It must be some sort of tennis ball. But we'll move very far away from that very quickly.
That's about as slow as you could have done that.
Yeah.
Maps tonight, we've got Process, Bagel, and Sultry. I guess these are maps that Process in particular is one that I've seen Potop Szwedzki play a couple of times, and honestly, like, not with great output. Like, obviously, it's a map where your scouts are very reliant on them. Beaver and Alba, obviously, very experienced, very strong, but even despite that, they have sort of struggled on Process in the games I saw previously. I saw they got beaten up kind of badly in their final round game of like the first group stage. And kind of similar story in Bagel as well. So I feel like if the Swedes are going to take this, it's going to probably have to go to a map 3. But even still, I think that Three Steps Back are probably pretty strong favourites in these first two.
Then again, you do have to remember, this is Process. Bevan, Alba, Onkaya, Smire, they've been playing Process since it was a little map. These mountains, these trees in the background were just molehills and saplings when they first started. It had proper sewers, it had proper passageways everywhere. The numbers had meanings, Ben.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
This map has grown. It's now been this way for a long time, which means that they've been playing it for a long time and perfecting it for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's obviously one of those maps where this sort of in 2023, you're not really going to come in and really surprise people too much. It's not really you can sort of cook anything up that hasn't already been cooked. You can just sort of hone in those skills and basically get better at what everyone else has already started doing and try and be the best at that. But yeah, absolutely, it should be. It's obviously it's the game that like a lot of people playing like pickups and such. Like it's got a reputation for being quite a puggy sort of map sometimes, and quite DM reliant. But yeah, obviously the Swedes will be very comfortable with that. But Three Steps Back as well. I don't believe they've played it so far in the qualifiers, so that might lead me to believe it's the Swedes' pick. But even still, like I said, everyone can play this map to at least some degree. It's not as if there's going to be a team that just sort of hasn't played it. So yeah, I think it should. Anyone should really be confident on this one.
One player I do want to highlight on this map is Mr. Alba the Scout. I remember, I think it would be I-63. He gets round-winning kill on the med through a dispenser on last, wins, I think takes a map to overtime. Could have been against Ferriotech or one of the top European teams at that point. But I remember that being one of the most hyped moments of one of the LANs being played. on this map. So I'm expecting big things from this guy. I'm expecting big things as well from Onkaya. His mechanics, his movement, it has not changed since he last played the game. He is still a god. I remember watching a game with you, and you were marveling at this man's two-step.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the game previously, which we me and Wandom earlier on, and this is like Gully Wash map that they played in their first round game of this like final bracket. It was against Bloking Hazard, I believe. Yeah, like he just gets alive. He just gets out alive in like some of the most outrageous scenarios. Like 2 soldiers will come in and fire like a combined 8 rockets, and you like surf one, duck underneath another, grab a health hack, surf again. He's like, I don't know. He just lives for so long and gives the rest of his team the easiest job. They have so long to sweep up these kills, especially on the soldiers when they're trying to bomb in. So yeah, the 2 soldiers of Maverick and Tantrum are going to have a rough time, perhaps getting onto Onkaya this game. But yeah. Over on the side, I want to see what LF Beans has got to share. Right, obviously, someone coming in with plenty of confidence, but after that confidence knocked a bit. Given what he's saying in the Twitch chat, I don't think his confidence has been knocked too much. And with that, the close fashion that they went out to Alien Workshop with, perhaps they're one of the favourites to still be going through to LAN.
Yeah, Alien Workshop, not the best Div 1 team, but one of the more competent ones. So still having top or middle of Div 1 teams is a bit of a bar for the qualifiers. Obviously, Prem teams all going into this with their shiny golden tickets of invitations. So Div 1 teams fairly high up in terms of ranking for these qualifiers. So being able to do pretty well against one of the middle of the pack ones must mean good things.
Yeah, absolutely. But I do believe I'm seeing people joining the server. And I've seen Yekeb join the server. I believe that might be a merc or a sub. It's not their usual soldier partner for Maverick. So I believe, given that it's already game is supposed to have started almost 10 minutes ago, I'm assuming this was perhaps a last minute thing, just grabbing in Yekeb to round out this roster. Definitely a very competent soldier. Seen him play a few times. I think we've covered him before on his Div 1 and Div 2 escapades. But yeah, maybe not ideal. A few minutes beforehand, having to get kind of an emergency sub in. We'll see how that affects them.
I've got a Tantrum saying that Yekeb is their main and that he's the sub, so might have been a
I'm just
situation.
getting bad information then on my end.
Yeah, you've been lied to.
Misled.
Can I get some predictions for this, Ben? Who are you thinking is gonna win this map one?
I would I think I'm probably going towards 3 steps back, just because I know that obviously there's the experience such on the Swedes side, but I think on a map like this, it's quite heavy in the DM. I think the younguns are probably going to have a bit of an advantage, and also I've seen Swedes play this map previously in the qualifiers. I wasn't entirely impressed with what they had to offer on process. So yeah, I'm going to go for a 3 steps back on this first. What about you?
I'm gonna have to play devil's advocate here. They may be in wheelchairs, they may have Zimmer frames, but these Zimmer frames, they have spikes on them. These are sharp. They picked process, I am hearing from my glamorous production man himself. So definitely I'm favouring the Swedes here.
Yeah, obviously we'll have to see. I think we're going to be going live soon. They're currently arguing about whether they should be playing 9v9 or any of the forbidden horrendous game mode. But we're not going to play any of those. We're going to 66, and we're going to be going in for this first map, the Swedes pick of process, and see what they've got to show for us on it.
Just quickly sorting out my aliases here. We're watching DevG on the way to mid. Apologies for the butchering, and we have a fast soldier instantly onto Satan. That's one big hit for 3 steps back, and this is just going to force the Swedes, my friends, all the way back to second here, running tails between their legs.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so important there that Yekid takes a similar amount of damage to what Satan took on the way in, but Yekid somehow gets out alive at about 10 HP, jumps all the way back gets an arrow, and that one pick is enough to win the mid-fight at this level. But Yekab going to go even more straight onto Onkaya, just completely unseen, coming in from IT and getting that pick onto the medic. And now, with Habina up at 82%, this is looking very, very good for 3 steps back.
They got overwhelmed there on the second, coming through IT, coming through sewers. Onkaya didn't know which way to look. You can dodge 8 rockets at the same time, but can you dodge 8 rockets if they're coming from 8 different locations? Obviously not, and I guess this is 3 steps back looking at the last point very hungrily. Can they convert and get the first round on the board?
We've got so long, right? Harry's nowhere near get these Uber charges. There's a sniper up on Bevan, but it's not going to be landing anything just yet. Gun taken down. Bevan going to have some water point taken very, very low, and a lot of cap time's gone through. And yeah, 3 steps back was playing it slow, playing it patient, tapping it out slowly. Don't want to lose anyone, and they won't be losing anyone on this first round. Under 2 minutes, 3 steps back. It's more like 3 steps forward as they're charging into the lead.
Onkaya did a 3-step of his own there, Alpha, managing to get a soldier to chase him all the way around, but not quite able to let his team salvage the mid there. So go for the very fast rollout there, hitting very nice mid-air sticky, but what can he get from that speed? Not really much as we go to a very cookie cutter start from the mid-fight, jumping up, and so much space took by 3 steps back. We're definitely moving forward. Maverick unlucky to get spear, but now all the frags go their way.
They're in potentially bad trouble as well because they got chasing down going in onto the medic of Onkaya, and does the deed, gets in onto the medic. And yeah, that's the thing with there's no scout out attack to the medic. He's so slow, doesn't make it back into 1 in time. Great chase down there from Jaka, and they're going to get the second point, and this could be a very, very quick 2-0. They're already looking to go in. Uber charge up at 95% on Habina, starting to walk in through rollout. They might just go straight to the point. There's 6 on it to clear first, but Uber charge used out. Davey going to run over towards Bevan, might be getting in spawn. Nope, doesn't get in there. Davey gets double kill with spawn shooter as well, and you get the second round in under 3 minutes.
Potop, they just keep on getting stuck in their own spawn. I don't really blame them when they have an Uber right in their faces, but they're just 4 people sitting at the same spawn entrance waiting for something to happen. One of you is going to have to sit on point, my friends. But mid-fight, number 3 Yekab again go very quickly, but this time caught out. Satan hits those, and that's going to be 1 soldier down instantly. Maverick goes for a bomb himself straight onto the head of Bevan. Bevan very low, but the rest of the follow-up, it's not quite there, and that's 2 picks for the Swedes, and they're going to take this mid-fight a lot better from them.
Yeah, I think Yekab maybe got a bit complacent there, jumping in very, very aggressively, sort of DM checking over onto those blue soldiers. Loses it this time, and honestly, when you're 1 soldier down, it always makes the rest of the mid so much harder. And yeah, the Swedes going to take mid. I'm going to take second as well, with these late kills coming in on mid. It's meant they've had a bit of a spawner advantage. Going to get in onto second, but this time, no advantage to speak of. They don't have those luxuries that the 3 steps backside had previously, so going to have to sort of play this long, slow way, try and poke their way in, try and make something happen, see where they decide to go. I think Beam looks like it's working its way into lobby. Let's see what they're going from here. They're going to spam the gun, try and maybe send some sacks in. The gun is very passive.
Gun just being built, now it's level 3, it can be moved up, start making the impenetrable defense, get that dispenser up, stick your medic in the dispenser, and very hard to kill. Very impervious defense. There's only 1 person that I've seen had a real good crack at that, and that would be Alba. A long time ago, but cut me off, will you, Maverick? Straight onto Onkaya, instant drop. And that's massive for 3 steps back.
Yekab gets another kill as well, so it's not even like their players down walking out into second either. Really, really good work on that push out. The gun just about being kept alive long enough there by Fiaka, and yeah, gonna just about hold off. And yet, very nice drop coming in on Kaya. Now going to have no Uber charge at all, only just spawning in. So this ad is going to persist through mid and potentially even further as well. It looks like currently they're going to walk straight into IT. Elephines jumping in onto Gar. He's going to be taken down. Uber charge used. See if they can get anything else. It doesn't look like it. They're just going to take this early use in. And now, actually, that's maybe not the best outcome possible. They're 1 pick up, but at a pretty big dis out of about 40 or 50%. So maybe the Swedes can do something with this.
I really like that from the Swedes. They're just sitting 2 soldiers on top of the red crate, just spamming down into IT. They're just instantly forcing the medic. Habina getting almost 40 HP-ish. No way that you can't force, well, that you don't force that. But no, Smear goes down on the push back.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeke does not get out alive, but now Kaya running in, doesn't have a Doorman to use Uber, going to have to use it in on the scouts instead. Even walking very aggressively in front, and Kaya gets forced, but can't get it to spot even in IT because the jump's too high. Going to take an Albert instead through choke, but there's no one to find just yet. Never mind. The red side of 3 steps back, fighting up in top of IT. Going to get a frag onto Satan and actually going to start stabilising. And now Habina has Uber, and with only 3 players live on the Swedes, they can come back in.
Yeah, the double scouts on 3 steps back just hard denied both soldiers there onto the mid-fight. Just all the players shooting very different targets for the side of Potop, and 3 steps back, really nice focus fire, just completely denies their mid-fight, and now they're back on last.
They're in danger, right? There's only 60% Uber on Kaya, and 3 steps back are completely aware of this, running it in all the way through one, getting up into panic room without having to use just yet. Alina's still holding on, going to use him to Piaka in front of this right-hand spawn. They're going to get it on Satan and the sentry gun as well, as they're trying to lock everyone out. Can people get on point in time? Even going to have to run away, taking too much spam, and what a quick conversion that was, right? They were getting chased in their own second, and before Kaya could even get Uber, they've already capped last.
Yeah, 3 steps back, just forcing the top back into their spawn every single time, this time going over the top. Really nice played from them, and yeah, it's just works so effectively.
Yeah, absolutely. And you gotta say, the last mid, I think, was maybe an overstep. I think there's going to be a bit more respect this time from 3 steps back. This time going in with a big double soldier and trying to land in onto the medic. They are going to find Onkaya, but going to lose one of their soldiers. Yeka take on weak as well, and Habina now maybe getting hungry from Satan, who gets one more. Can get the second. Satan gets 2 in IT, and it's looking like another decent mid fight for the Swedes. They're getting the kill to Davy as well. Yeka blast alive up on the height, but with 2 scouts to find, going to have his work cut out for him. We're not going to get anything here yet. Taken down by the combined powers of Beaver and Alba, and 3 surviving in the mid is not quite the best scenario we've seen yet from the Swedes, but still a pretty good one.
I think that would have been absolute disaster if Satan hadn't have got onto Habina there. They made the smart play. They put the medic in IT there, really hard to get onto him, but protection not quite there. Satan able to fire those 2 rockets, somehow gets both kills as well in that situation, and because of that, Onkaya gets a fairly sizable advantage, although it's slightly diminished here to only about 8%. But that 8% and the pick onto Maverick, that's going to allow Swedes to get second, start poking around last point.
Yeah, see what's in store for them here. It doesn't look like there's a gun up at all. There's only the heavy weapons man with his minigun. Decided to put the spawn down. We've actually got a soldier all the way in behind already. Guards coming in onto the medic. Going to get 1 look at 2 look. Gets the force out onto Habina. What a play that is from Gardas. Nobody watching 5. Just flies all the way in behind into panic room. Gets that force out. And now the Swedes going to have to face the counter-aggression of their own Maverick jumping in. Trying to get onto Onkaya. But Onkaya is so safe. Just behind the mini Spire on the second point. And now big ad for the Swedes. And this is sure their best chance to get around on the board yet.
15 seconds spawn time on Maverick as well. God just managed to be back. They could potentially use in. Yeah, they use it in just before Maverick comes back. Smear instantly on the gun. Now they can start looking up point. But while that's happening, it's been 1 player traded. Both teams and having to walk away from point. Reaggression comes in though, and it's really good for the Swedes here. Just Maverick trying to fend for 3 steps back, and nothing he can do about it. And the top, they're gonna get their first round, and they really need to continue at this sort of pace if they want to get back into the game.
Yeah, giving your team giving your opponents a 3-point handicap in the first 10 minutes of the game, obviously not ideal, but that was really nicely worked. Last point there, I thought they'd maybe been a bit slow getting in, but they managed to cut off the spawn doors, cut off those retreats, stop people from getting back. Davey was getting shot out from about 10 different angles at once, not able to watch the traps, and yeah, really nicely played there from the Swedes as they get their first one on the board. Going back in, trying to repeat these last couple of mid fights, but their mids have looked better, and this time they're changing things up, going for a clockwise rotation, and they're taking round over towards enemy side, going to trade 1-for-1 soldier for scout. so far, and actually taking a fair bit of flack here on the low ground. Very low HP with these Swedish players. On Kaya, 11 HP, trying to keep Alba alive. He's down to 5, down completely now. On Kaya and Satan, last 2 alive, up against Biaka. As it's actually, in the meantime, it's actually the Future back players that are falling.
How is this man still alive, Ben? He's dodging, he's dancing. Can he stay alive to this one scout? He's doing his best.
23 HP, it's rather rough. And a soldier's here now as well. Yeka's in.
Onkaya's hiding that it's 1 versus 1. The medic, one of the best Europe's ever had. Not quite that good though. As Gar gets sent into the ragdoll zone.
I think if that was like, I guess, any class other than a soldier left with a medic there, that's so much of an easier fight. But obviously, if you're going to jump around up on the high ground and just be a nuisance, not eat any of those splash rockets. And now, I guess with Kaya lasting so long, yeah, that's worked to the Swedes' detriment. Because Habina now has 60% Uber, and Kaya has only just spawned, so they're going to have another go and add push into last.
Has built a bit of time though. We get the Butis, we get the gun, so not the end of the world, but 3 steps back, they've looked very strong on these pushes. They've converted pretty much all of them, haven't they? They're going to have another go here. Fairly early use onto Devji, but he will get the sentry gun, but pays his life for it. This is absolute disaster for 3 steps back. Having to take 3 steps back onto their second.
Yeah, Davey got kind of baited there, right? Like, he sort of jumps in aggressively and his team just wasn't there to follow him. He's jumping into the heavy, really. I can sort of imagine him sort of screaming there, trying to get the team to focus around that heavy, but no one was there following. And people getting caught on the way in means now it's actually big advantage for Unkaya. And they're actually sat in 1, perhaps looking at getting in. Yeka's going to jump in, try and get an early 4th, but Unkaya holds on. Smeary just about to stay his line as well, but Unkaya, I believe, eats a bit of spam over the top, taking lead, but not flinching just yet, keeping himself and Smeary alive. And with Adina back in the game on second, I actually got EV charge as well, so it's going to be evening out. And I'm sure the Swedes are aware of this, it's been long enough since that attempt to push, but now things might slow down slightly.
I know Yeka kind of failed a sack, but in actuality, really useful for his team, because Smeary gets forced really low, and now he can't really risk jumping, or Onkaya can't really go aggressive with a scout because Demo Man is so low that if he either jumps in or Medic's beam is removed from him, he can get killed very easily, and that would be a disaster.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess when you're sort of chasing the game like 2 rounds down, being in this sort of situation, I guess it's but it's still not good, right, for the Swedes there. Obviously, there's better place to be than your own second kind of Stoke, but at least it's not like last. You've got a bit more playmaking potential getting out, but 3 steps back just aren't really going much at all. They just sort of sat on mid. They're not going for any sort of presence towards the sewers, anything towards IT, anything like that. They're just sort of content to chill and just sit there and perhaps just let the clock run down and see if any of the Swedes decide to over-aggress. Now, actually, Gara and Satan seem like they're lining something up. They're both stepping forward into their respective flanks, but no, going to be spotted out and jumping away as we've already had 1:20 knocked off this clock, and it seems like absolutely zero has happened.
Be fairly interested to see either Bevan or Alba go for something like a sniper, or maybe one of the soldiers comes up on banner here. That could be quite good for the Swedes, but 1 player down, Yekeb is going to get caught in the crossfire, so not sure how much 3 steps back are going to do here. You don't really have any reason to push, especially on even players.
They're going to try and jump in towards Sewer though, and Guard's getting caught out to the 6th floor. Davey going to survive it as well. But we're just sort of flip-flopping players back and forth. This is really, really scrappy, really messy. Piata going down as well actually means that as the dust is settling, it's back to a 5v5 with Yekeb really far away. It means that Swedes are able to sort of pressure towards Choke, perhaps try and spam in, but Habina is so safe behind the rock. There's no finding onto him just yet. Unless Satan's going to jump in, get the force straight over. Sees that he's trapped behind there from the spam. Does a really nice surf up that ramp, lands straight in Habina's face, and Habina, who looked safe for a moment, was not safe after all, getting bombed straight onto his face.
Yeah, no scout means one of the people that's really good at denying these bombers is now unable to help you with that, and Satan really capitalizing on that. Soldier is currently behind Maverick, trying to do the funny business, but Swedes aren't particularly perturbed by that, especially with Satan finishing him off.
Yeah, 1-for-1 trade there on the back lines, but I'm pretty sure Satan's will be rather happy with that outcome. Just dealing with that play behind, there's no more turning around, no more messing about, and they can maybe try and make use of Uber. But actually, I say that we're losing Beaven as well. Uber is now only at 20%, so not looking like there's anything residual left for them to work with. But now at least they've earned 1 point.
Yakev's walking in.
Just in, okay. Big surf from Onkaya, surfed away from, dodges the air shot, okay. Really nice moves there. I thought Yakev was 100% getting a force, but Onkaya holds on once more.
Could practically see Onkaya's fingertips there just swatting the air away to give him more movement. Probably ducked in real life as well over that one.
Beaven's just in under point, shelling out massive amounts of damage, but Avian Bean's gonna get the frags, and that means now that the rest of this combo is sort of caught in no man's land on the Swedish side unless they can find frags. If finding a frag into Yakov is a start, Yakov's in onto Onkaya again, this time gonna get the force, but he's getting taken down. Alvin Smeary gonna be there, gonna be trying to get into Habina, but Habina's just safe, not taking any damage at all, and just gonna sit here on the second point, just not give up the ground, not give up the Uber charge, and now it's going to be a really nice advantage for the Red 3-set backside.
They are 2 players down now, though. So if Potop are really quick for a sack, maybe double Soldier or something like that, they can probably get the force out of Fabino. But no, electing to just go for these double Soldier spam angles. Satan going for the single player sack, but oh, come on, guys, that's not going to work at this point, is it?
Yeah, I think the idea was maybe distraction and Beaven runs in, but Beaven sort of ran in maybe slightly late and Satan was already dead. So they actually lose 2 for the price of 1 really there, so it's not good whatsoever. And
Beaven is going very quickly though, so God gets pretty nice force, but they've lost
down.
So many players.
Yeah, the use comes in through rollout, and Onkaya just building up, trying to get back onto last, gets cut off completely on their escape through 1, and now 3 sets back have used their Uber charge. The Uber charge is dealt with. The second has only just been capped, but it's not going to matter. They're able to jump in, beat up those last couple of frags under Beaven, under Satan, and taking it at 4-1, 1 round away. Sealing the deal on process.
It was going so well for Potop in that round, getting all the way to second, and that's where it started to fall apart. Just getting that Uber forced, kind of Onkaya really wanting to keep hold of the Uber, but maybe it would have been better to use in that situation, and that just sends us to a downwards slide. Midfight looking considerably better this time. As demos traded and a couple of extra scraps on the backlines. Maverick is going to get nice trade, but the Alba train just keeps on going at the moment, and next station, Red second.
Yeah, Havina is aware enough, and so is LF Beans, that they're able to get all the way back out onto last. They're not worried about potentially dropping Havina on the way out, and actually going to come in and contest second. Jacob's got a spawn up, he's actually so early on that mid. He's able to come back in, get a bit of crit heals, and jump on toward that second point. And now actually maybe next station for the second, but they've missed the train. They've missed an opportunity, because now Red team are all just sat here. They're all turtling up, and they've got all 6 of their players doing so. So it's going to be a lot harder to get it now than it perhaps would have been 20 seconds ago.
Well, still waiting at the station, still looking for hopefully the next train on the line. Obviously, Smeary going down in the fight earlier meant they couldn't really get any traps on doorways, deny them as well. Either way, Yakov jumping in, builds a lot of space. Gonna get Alba for it, but Satan's in.
That was huge, yeah, good distraction coming in. Satan gonna fly and get that force out onto Habina, who's used it, and Kaya now gonna sit all the way back towards the kill corner, getting double bomb. Sure, this is gonna be a force, gets it. Are they gonna see through 2 swords? The Maverick is somehow still alive in behind, and dealt with.
Smear though. How?
Unflashed for a second, took so much damage when the bomb came in, and yeah, Kaya was just too bothered about keeping even Uber so that he could fight the 2 soldiers that were still there. But yes, maybe going down, not good whatsoever. But there are only 3 players live temporarily for the red side, so they're going to have to back their way out onto last. So that it is going to go in the Swedes' favour just about, but that's only maybe temporarily, as there is an ad building up for the 2 steps back.
Jakob going down though, do you really want to push off your last boy? Especially, you've got 10 minutes left, you're 4-1 in the lead. You know that if you do nothing, your chances of winning go up. But if you make a mistake here, that's 4-2. That's only 2 rounds they have to get to be right back in this game. So maybe just sit last, play a little bit more cautiously, and you should have this.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're getting their gun up. The gun's a bit late to set up. I think they were worried about an early push coming in, so they had the heavy for a while. But now just going to go for the engineer, try and get themselves their stock standard setup. Front wall gun, fencer, full mashings. But speaking of, it looks like Swede going to work their way in towards lobby, maybe try and get some sacks. Last time it was Gar going in behind into 5 that was their entry point. Are they going to be able to repeat with something similar? Looks like Gar closing around 5 again. But yeah, very low. Getting caught up by Jacko actually as well. And now Yeka are going to be taking control of the lobby. Yeka getting another kill and Beaven goes down. Okay. Maverick can begin as well. Could be a 4th kill. Satan goes down. Just Smearing on Kaya left. And they're having to back out to mid. Are they even going to get out?
It's disrespectful to stay in the lobby that long, and Yeka, he's jumping on Kaya, the balls of steel, to keep that Uber there.
Oh, the bomb though, not going to hold it in time. The second soldier comes in, the health pack wasn't just there. So Kaya not able to heal up just about enough, and that means now Habina going to have another big advantage unless Alba is able to come in and get a force. The Hapgar either. It looks like the Swedes really want this. They're trying to get in onto Habina. Second soldier of Satan. They're going to get the force out. At what cost? How many of these pushes are going to be taken out? Maybe going to kill into Davey. That's pretty big. No gentleman going to be in this Uber. Spear walking forward even further. Okay. Bit aggressive there inside. Choke going to be taken down for his troubles. Now into 4v2. Beans going down. Soldier bombing in. Channel on the edge. So onto Onkaya, who surfs away once again. Yeka really not having luck with these medic air shots this game. We've got a good piece of movement there from Onkaya, and now Chariot rolls forward through the second point. Not going to roll forward any further. Just going to park up here. Restock because there is some advantage, and I'm sure they're aware of this. The force came out later onto Habina, so maybe they're just going to try and pull a trigger as soon as their Uber charge hits 100, because it is definitely possible with their ad.
You said earlier, the train's delayed, but now we have horses, no need for trains anymore. Yeah, the double scout is so effective in that situation. There's nothing you can do to stop it. And Priest's back, getting Ubered on their last. They've only got a couple of percentage before they have, but it's not going particularly great for Potop. Using so many players. LF Beans, Pyro is out, and Onkaya running for the hills.
Yeah, Gar is still up above, but on literal 1 HP is going to be in a fair bit of trouble. The jetpack Pyro comes in and is actually the heavy for Jack is able to do the deed. But yeah, the push-in just wasn't quite smooth enough. I know that Smear had some trouble jumping in, gets knocked up as they're running through 4. And yeah, they're not quite quick enough. Habina gets that Uber charge. So it was sort of touch and go with the timings. And they just weren't able to get it in before Habina had that Uber charge. When the defenders have got an Uber charge running across point and they've still got 6 players live, it's going to be curtains for that push. David actually going down okay. So maybe we're stepping a bit here. Habina still has, but he's going to have any more. One more rocket lands into his face. Habina's down to 48 HP. He's going to be sticking around on the point. Biaki getting into Smiri as well. He's pretty big, but Uber charge goes down. Even able to come in, get onto Habina. There's now only 2 scouts alive, and they're getting Gar. Going to be starting towards the point. Jaka trying to block as best as he can, and the defense is there, but it's scrappy and it's messy. Oh dear me, 3 steps back. Really against the wall.
For Jacket saving that round, definitely managing to get that kill on Spiro while he's waiting for an arrow. That definitely would have been a massive amount of damage that he would have been able to deal out if he wasn't instantly took down by Jacket there.
Yeah, absolutely. As starting to walk their way back into the squeeze, it seems like dry pushing to second, but they're just sort of feeling confidence with that. And I guess with 5 minutes left and 2 rounds to find, you have to really go for things like this, as the time is of course ticking down against the favour of the Swedes, and they're actually just going to get 4 kills, I guess, 4 for the price of 3 on second, as Igar and Albert able to stay alive with Onkaya, and Cuba's, I guess, roughly even. They're going to have to try and bully their way in again, but it's so hard, right? Like, to go in with even Ubers like that, unless you're going to bring up like something funny, like a heavy or a contra or something for the post-fight, it's going to be always rough.
Don't particularly have the time to make anything funny either. There's 4.5 minutes left to go. You've got to win this round and then win 2 in about 4 minutes. So really, like, sort of pushing your time limits, and losing Gar instantly is
Oh,
a
lovely
terrible way
probably.
to start.
Yeah, they get on Jacob. I thought Smear was going to go down there as well in one, and yeah, they're really trying to just break their way in, but it's not looking good at all for the Swedes as they're trying to rotate around to lobby to take this trade in. They have to trade, and they are going to catch an early kill on Demo. It's really, really nice. 6v4, long spawner on that Demo as well. Yekib is going to be spawning in, but Alba getting body blocked on his way back out of 3. Can they get the kill? And Habina goes down. They get the med, but there's still plenty of players alive. LF Beans as well on the heavy. Everyone's trying to jump in, trying to get on towards this point, but the health bars are so low for the blue side. It doesn't matter if there's no medic, as Yekib's able to run behind, lean in from lobby, and now that is probably game number 1 going the way of 3 steps back.
Yeah, Bevan and Smiro really wanted to go through 3 there, but I think it was Gar and Onkaya trying to go through 2, and because of that, Soldier just manages to pick the first 2 off, and then just Soldier and Onkaya, they just get took down very quickly on their own.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess it's so hard. I mean, you've got to push in like even like that. It's sort of almost an impossible task you've got set for yourself. And they are still going to try. They are still going to run their way back in. 3 minutes to get 3 rounds is falling on the runs with possibility. Maverick going to be taking loads from sniper fire. Chance for another sniper shot coming in, and actually Habina's gone down, but so has Onkaya. Only 2 survivors on either side. Make that 1 now as Maverick, last man standing. 3 steps back, but they're getting spawners in time. There's going to be no instant run through onto the last point with these low numbers. The timer ticks down, and as long as it ticks down, it's going to be in 3 steps back's favour.
Yeah, this is the point of time in the match where you start looking for the frag video clips, start trying to hit the 1 in a million air shots, and hope for something that you can put on a frag video. Or I don't think that will be a frag video for qualifications, maybe, if we're lucky. But just looking for some nice clips, and at the moment it's all 3 steps back. Getting the clips, even trying something with the frying pan, but unfortunately it is not to be.
I was hate being a medic in garbage time, right? Like, no one wants to just sit and babysit the medic. Everyone wants to just run in and feed and fight and do DM and that sort of thing, and the medic just sort of left. And of course, when you want to go in and rack up flags, the medic is normally the first one of the target, so it can't be fun on Kaya and Habina. Not a great time. Habina actually stayed alive through that entire fight, and actually 98% Uber is perhaps not really getting in time as he gets completely
You had
landed
to
on
say that
instantly as it lands straight on his face, and this actually, if the Happy's going to be blocked long enough, there's a chance of a last point coming through. Gar going to be in. Are people going to get there in time? No, they're not. 42 Swedes get themselves on the board for the second time, but yeah, there's nowhere near enough time to get 2 more. It's more playing for I'm not sure if this matters for like tiebreakers potentially for later on. I don't really think it does. Just playing for their pride more than anything at this point.
What do you think fastest theoretical round on Process would be?
Well, we saw a round earlier this game in, I want to say, about 1 minute 10. But I think the second round was really quick. This game, I've been interested to see in the logs like exactly how quick it was. My guess was about 1 minute 10. It felt really, really fast. It was a really quick mid-win. And just sort of rolled straight in the second, rolled in the last. I don't know. As for games I've experienced, I've seen a 40-second round on Reckoner, but I think that's mostly because the midpoint comes super quick. But I think if it was a thing of like, yeah, okay, we've got 2 pain train soldiers, pain train demo, 2 scouts, and like medic, and the other team is linked to the all AFK spawn, I reckon, yeah, probably like 35-40 seconds would be my guess.
Yeah.
These maps.
You don't tend to see that though. You know, sticking 6 players on a control point, they tend to get shot at a little bit.
But yeah, or like blocks or something like that, something funny going to happen. Well, funny things happening. He's got the thermal thrust, the pyro thrusting himself into the action, doing a fair bit of damage, getting the Nostro Napalmer as well.
Yeah.
Out on Earth, and all the kits, all the fun guns that came out in that pyro update, and they're not going to get into point to make it 43 the Swedes. But there we have it. Swedes pick, not going the way of the Swedes. There's 3 steps back, potentially getting a step closer towards LAN. Obviously, the winner of this game does not guarantee anything in terms of like going to LAN. It just means the bottom team out of this group is going to be not going, and obviously winning this game means that you're less likely to be that bottom team.
Yeah, and what a start to take your opponent's map very emphatically, you could say. For a sort of a final going into this, Swedes, they're really gonna have to either shift to another gear or start pulling out some tech that they have not been showing this game to do
Yeah,
well.
like I feel like that game, honestly, it feel pretty rough for the Swedes, right? Because I just got the times up now. The Swedes were 3-0 down after like 7 minutes of that game. That's like ridiculously quick. And like after that, they obviously won two and lost one round for the rest of the game. Like they really just like I don't know, that game was won and lost in the first three rounds, like completely. In the first 7 minutes of the game, it was like coming back from 3-0 down after like at a start like that, like it's so hard to do. But yeah, once the Swedes have got their mid fights under control and like sort of got themselves into the field of the game, they were competing and honestly like almost had the better of the chances for the rest of that game. But yeah, just not getting into gear quick enough at the start has really come back to bite them in that one.
Yeah, scouts on Potop struggling maybe a bit in the DM wise situation, a bit like you foresaw earlier actually at the start of the game. You said the boomers would be just too good for these old people, and it
Yeah,
looks like this was the case. Oh, we've got some nice shiny logs.
yeah. I've just got clarification. I mentioned I'm claiming this is a win for me because I claimed that round was 1 minute 10 and it was 1 minute and 8
Oof.
on for round number two. Yeah, it was 1 minute 38 round one, 1 minute 8 round two, and then it was a bit slow 4 minutes and 2 for round three. Yeah, very quickly in the lead. But yeah, we got some obviously logs also show us damage and the big numbers that everyone loves to talk about. We've got Davey leading the way on demo. What a performance! 20 and 12 with 320 DPM on a map like Process. Absolutely massive performance. Smeary doing pretty decent himself as well. The other side, we've obviously seen Smeary probably, from what I can tell, being the standout player for the Swedes in like their previous fixtures. But yeah, Davey beating him out this time.
31 and 15 for Pajaka there. What a KD that is. That's nearly rivaling some of Thomas's KDs on Stout.
Yeah,
Although
that's
maybe
that's a
easier
scout moment. Is
opponents.
that that's a serious scout moment. But
Well, talking
honest
about
scout map.
scout moments, we're gonna have some more scout moments this game. We're on to Beagle, King of the Hill map. You've got some good scouts. Your other team's gonna very quickly know about it.
Yeah, I guess it's obviously a cost map, so it does. I guess as with most maps in the game, honestly, favor scouts, but like it's one where the soldiers with the existence of the houses and the fact that it's almost like a 3-lane kind of map, it does mean that the soldiers have the small enclosed areas they can splash people in and have fun, and the width of the map means there's more room to get behind and things like that. But yeah, obviously the scouts are going to be ones to watch on this one as usual. You've got so much player on the point. They're going to get a ton of beam. They're going to be running around fragging everyone, doing their best. And I'm going to say it like one thing I'm going to mention before we start this is I believe that this pick of Bagel, I'm not sure if it's a pick necessarily from Three Steps Back strength, right? Obviously, they might be a great team on it, right? And I'm not denying that. I'm just saying that I saw Bagel get picked against the Swedes like years ago in one of their previous games, and the Swedes really struggled. Obviously, like a lot of older players, Bagel's only been in the rotation for like a year and a bit, so absolutely like not a map that like Process everyone's played a billion times over. And yeah, they were getting sort of like locked in spawn almost. They were like getting forward held, but like in lobby, it was rather rough. But hopefully the Swedes have had a look at that game and had an assessment and thought, you know what, we'll let it float through again, but this time I have a bit more of a plan of how to play it.
Yeah, I mean, even Pyro with Jetpack and Nostra and Palmer, that must be absolutely terrifying for the Swedes here. They haven't seen this technology for a long time. And now bringing out Bagel? I thought the only control map we had was Product here. But
Oh, Viaduct, is it?
Viaduct, yeah, that's a shout.
Well,
Where's all the snow gone?
I guess I've kind of hinted at what my prediction will be for this map. Do you like? I think it's I think Steve's back have got it in the bag. I think despite the sort of that second half approaches, I think they're going to be the stronger team here. Would you agree?
I think this is one of the times in life where I have to bow to your intellect and say, yeah, this is a done deal. I'd love to be proven otherwise, bringing us to a map 3, but yeah, I don't see the Swedes really managing anything against 3 steps back here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think last time it was Smithy who was sort of topping out on DP on a cough map. Obviously, if Denmark can go huge once more, it will be big. Smithy going to be starting off this one reasonably passively, just going to sit all the way back on concrete. Both teams not wanting to show their cards too quick, but actually Smithy catching a kill very nicely with those stickies onto LFBs. Yekev's gone behind, trying to cause a bit of a nuisance, and trades come out in that right-hand house, but Yekev's in onto the medic Empire. Yeah, Yekev can't hit the direct, but does hit it second time of asking. Great work, but in the meantime, the entirety of 3 steps back has died. Where did they all go?
I don't know. Everyone just seemed so preoccupied with Onkaya and Jakob's mission that they just seem to have all died. What's happened? Have these Swedes, have they been getting their studying books on? Have they been playing this map a lot? Something must have changed, surely.
Well, what hasn't changed is the config from last map. Because we are on 5TP config, and this first mid-fight going... I'm not sure I'd be too happy if I was on the Swede side, you know, getting into it so quickly, tapping it out. I believe it only really affects like the server time, right? So I think if they do it after the first round, it probably shouldn't affect anything. I don't know too much about like, the technicalities of this, but they're playing on for now.
I think you can do MP win limit 3 and MP time limit 0 or something like that, and I think that sorts it out.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, just as long as they don't end up having to like restart the game or anything like that. But yeah, nice cap time coming in to start with 40 seconds on that initial cap for the Swedes. But now they're a player down, forced all the way back to their own concrete, and now they're just gonna, you know, have to start feeling the main, start having to press up, because now for the first time 3 steps back are really finding a foothold. And that's the way through, trading straight in and taking out Davey in the train. Okay, great work there from Alba. Going to get all the way back out home alive as well. So it's now back to no Ubers for either side. However, we've got no down for the red team.
No scout as well. Mr. Beans himself getting took down. Smeary, though, he's going to get took down, which means that he's going to have such a long death timer as point transfers.
Oh, this is so much pressure though, right? So much pressure from the Swedes, but they're losing the players as they're walking in. I thought for a moment that the rest of the combo might be getting caught out, but that's getting low as well. But
Scout
now,
on Onkaya.
Yeah, running out, Smeary's there to defend the bombs, and Yekov gets it! Jumps over Smeary's head and is going to get the kill. Davies in as well, taking him down, and what a pick that is. We saw Yekov get bested by Onkaya a couple of times on that process map, but this time we're not even 2 minutes into this second map. And Yekov has found Nemesis twice already.
Yeah, Onkaya stocks slowly going lower. For a lot of times it's just seemed like Onkaya has been sort of on his own, left to his own devices, as his team really fumbles to deal with these bombing players. But right hand side push happens.
Big force through main. Gar just comes in through main. Gar just walks in through main. Honestly, I thought they'd really fumbled that 4-man sack, but now they've got pressure at the road speed. Yekov is in. The big surf from Onkaya. Gonna just about get out alive on 70 HP. Piaka's in the lobby as well. Gonna have to rotate out towards the grass state. I'm gonna try and prevent that from happening, but it's getting out very nicely. Yeah, I honestly thought they botched that 4-man sack. It was getting a bit scrappy, a bit messy. But Gar comes in very, very late, gets that force in through main. Really nice work, and now big advantage in the Uber charge department for the blue side, but not in the clock department. They're now quietly going to minute down on the clock.
They've used Uber as well. This is they just get demo, so a bit of a disastrous Uber. Alba trying his best to stay alive, but full damage is a hell of a drag, and he will succumb to it.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter these players that are really going down right for 3 steps back, because Habina has got Uber. The spawns are so short when you don't have the point, like it really doesn't matter that much unless you're like about to push or something. Like you can just wait the extra few seconds. They're still over 30 seconds ahead on the clock. They're starting to walk their way in, taking concrete control, and Kaya still just about to hit 60% Uber. So if it's a really quick bit of aggression now from 3 steps back, the Swedish side could be under a bit of trouble.
Yeah, all of their positioning just slowly whittled away. Maverick taking over this right-hand side, and the rest of 3 steps back being forced out of the other house. They're gonna start walking forward now that Uber's stabilized. Maybe go for a trade on Albert. There they go. This time, Deji managing to keep out of the Uber, but the rest, well, the 3 steps back team actually managing to take out a couple of players in
Maverick's
the Uber trade as well.
He jumps in lobby, he goes and gets on fire. Might be getting noise or no, taken down by Albert. Great work there, and these flanks have been so lethal. Maverick and Yek have been doing really good work, getting in behind, getting in onto his key frags, and now there's going to be no overcharge up from Kaya. No heals, no buffs, and they're going to have to start spending the point. There's 3 seconds left, they're going to have to start jumping in. 2 scouts, soldier on the point so far, but it's a nuke from Davey. When they have to jump in and when they have no heals, they will be taken down instantaneously. Davey there with a massive trap kill. Going to seal that first round. It was a bit closer than I was anticipating. Great attempt there from the Swedes, but that long hole in the middle where it took, what, about a minute and a half to get out of that forward hold.
Yeah.
That would be the deal breaker.
Yeah, it's a lot messier than I thought it would be, but at the end of the day, 3 steps back, they have these fundamentals on this map. They were able to sort of regain control, and then it was just slowly raining in, going for just a fairly dominant time-wise victory for them.
That's
wait,
caught
Gar.
out already.
He's got 3 people in his house. It's too many for a bit cheeky, if I have to say so myself. But although that's happened, it looks like his team will be the ones that are considerably more happy about that, with a couple of picks more just forcing 3 steps back away from this point. Looks like Potop, they're going to be capturing it first.
Yeah, Gar might be getting caught out again in the house. No, but this time actually wins out the fight against Yek. It goes 1 for 1. But actually, no. Habina's caught out. Steven and Albert come in. Shut either door, trap him in, lock him in. And Kaya now with a full advantage as they're now getting the point, getting set up for a forward hold. And this is looking very good for the Swedes if they can get their spawners in. Start perhaps locking the door.
Unfortunate Gar going down there. You can't really forward hold with just 1 soldier. Even if you've got full Uber and demo around, you need the double spam on that right hand side to really be effective there. And that's allowed quite a few of the 3 steps back roster to just go on point here. That's going to force Uber out very quickly, and everyone on the 3 steps back roster is just gone with the wind here, all the way nice and cozy inside their own lobby.
Yeah, they are going to start healing people up now, the Swedes. A lot of cap time came through. I guess critically the point did not flip, so these people are not forced back. But we've actually said, you can't really cook too much on like the older maps like Process or whatever. But we've got some cooking occurring now from 3 steps back. Bijaka has decided to come up on the heavy. So is this sort of the idea? They sort of take Uber charge in, take loads of ground, and then park up a heavy on point? The heavy currently just sat on this little like head glitchy kind of angle next to the point.
He's being sneaky.
Yeah, just
Ooh, I like this.
Gonna be on 450, gonna have plenty of health to dish out. But you know, Kaya getting Uber charged soon. This could be a really nasty surprise, right? For the first person to turn the corner and see there's a heavy there.
It's a bit of an interesting one, because normally if you were going to off-blast heavy, even though it doesn't happen that often, you would really go for one of your soldiers here, but they've elected to put Jacka off scout, which is a little bit odd. Scout really good on King of the Hill map, a lot more useful than soldiers, but they've elected to go 1 down for a heavy.
Yeah, I don't mind it, because their soldiers have been doing a very good job and they're really pressing the issue, and when you've got the point that heavy is such a good sort of denying space, but not when he's left alone out to dry, and even an Alba going to come in and get that frag. He even wants to go for even more as well, charging and people are going to main, not want to manage it. And instead turn ice towards Maverick, who has backs out all the way on the left hand side, but point flipping now to the Swedes, and they can maybe start a hold of the road.
You're really good at defending when they walk into you as heavy, but when you're trying to walk forward, they're, isolating you, forcing you on low ground, really ineffective. Maybe a scout in that position would have just been considerably better.
Yeah, well, Instead of going back, the Reasons now with their scout back in the game, have decided to walk in and start trying to cap the point. They've not quite managed it, but Habina, oh, it looks so dangerous. They're able to get the Uber charge, but he's so late as well. And Kaya could be in trouble getting out back towards lobby. There's a player coming in from behind, but Jack just ignores everyone, ignores the fight, runs back out through main from outside of lobby, but the collapse comes in finally. Onto on Kaya and Smear, and the rest of these red players really far back, playing it passive. Know they're going to have some ad, and timer's about 40 seconds down, but with this ad, there's potentially a chance to just charge straight back in.
I know we talked a lot earlier about Onkaya's movement, but there, Habina just managing to climb himself up on point like a little mountain goat, managing to get away from everyone on such low health, really needs to be pointed out. This man also incredibly good at movement as well.
Flank first, they really want to get into Habina, and Garo and even both go around behind Sid, getting that right house as well, and they get that kill into Habina. No return advantage at all to speak of. Now the Swede's going to be capping out this point, not going to even be 9 even. Either Davey's going to be a late death as well, potentially in his right house. If Smeary decides to go even further in, cuts off the escape, gets that kill, and 11 seconds on that spawn for Davey. Not ideal at all. 23 seconds left in the game. That's over half the game left. Not going to be taking part in that. Satan going to be jumping in close. This is as close to a forward hold as we've seen out this week so far. Yeka going to be going down, and 10 seconds left. They're trying to burst their way in. Uber charge used in now from the Swedes as they try and collapse in onto this left-hand side, trying to shut everyone in, stop everyone getting towards the point, and no one gets the point in time. This is going to be it. The Swedes going to be getting themselves in. Going to get themselves around.
Satan just doing such a good job to push 3 steps back, all the way back towards their spawn there. Great zonal play. And I feel like that round a bit closer. I would say it was more about 3 steps back, making some pretty hideous mistakes than Potop playing incredibly, even though definitely an improvement from the end of round 1, as we're moving into what seems like a considerably more passive from both sides start of round 3 here. House control just being looked at by both sides fairly tentatively.
The 3 steps back are pressuring the point so well. They've got so much cap time, and that's forcing the Swedes onto the point where they're going to take damage, but actually no. 3 steps back, who are the ones taking damage, losing everything, losing Maverick, and the point being capped out by the Swedes. Very, very early capture. Yeka's going to try and jump in, try and get onto Onkaya again, and goes in. 95% Uber on Onkaya, and it's going to be all for nothing as he's taken down. See if the salvage comes in onto Habina, see if the pressure is looking like Gara and Albert both forced back out of their house, home where they came from, and now forced all the way out. Now Gar last alive, now going to try and jump in behind. No, going to be denied on that jump. Very nice work.
Really nice calls from someone in the 3 steps back combo. As soon as Onkaya goes down, you see Gar walking through that left house looking to get towards Habina, but instantly bunkering up, taking some steps back towards lobby, protecting that medic.
Big death.
But yeah, very big death. Onto the demo man as well. Gar very high in the sky, can't quite land the first or the second on the sync, and it's a little bit of a weak sack play there.
I guess ideally Gar is not the only one going in, and they've got Satan and Smeary there as well, but they both died to that death of grass, so can't have everything when you lose a demo and a soldier on the way in.
Yeah, but on his way behind, 1 rocket on Onkaya, second not as powerful. Nice moves from Onkaya. They're going to use in here fairly weak Uber, really, but it's going to be a decent trade. Beaven just going on his own little magical adventure, but this is going to allow Gar very far deep in. But Jacka, he's on his own adventure
he's
too.
All the way behind, okay, getting in onto Onkaya. Alvin and Beaven go down as well with points, but these can be really slow spawners, right? Just 3 steps back, going to try and collapse and get these last couple of big air shot attempts there from Yekev, not going to land as Tin is pistol down for his demise.
Really nice play there. Just notices Roma has gone off to do funny bomb things and decides I can do my own walk in the flank. It's not very occupied at the moment. having a very good attempt there to get towards the medic, but kind of lost faith towards the end, tried to fade it away, couldn't quite get the fade. Maybe if he full commits there, I don't think 3 steps back would really have any particular way to stop him before getting 2 rockets off.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. And now the Swedes going to have to rethink. They're very, very far down on the clock, over 1 minute and 30, as they're currently sat all the way in lobby. See if they can burst their way through towards the grass. There's that big trap again to deal with. That has got through without the debt happening, so I don't think it's been checked. I don't know. It's been dealt with eventually. Yeka going to jump in there and do massive damage onto Smeary, onto Gar. Really nice work. The Jacka there is well going to... No, not going to be able to get in.
Swedes really
actually,
have...
no, Onkaya's going to drop.
God.
Okay. Maverick just flanking behind. These flank plays in lobby are so powerful, and this is what the Swedes fell victim to last time on this map.
Yeah, Swedes having no way to counter this forward hold here. Anytime they try and get anywhere near, they're just getting spammed or outmaneuvered here. And this is going to take us all the way to round point unless Mir can do something absolutely incredible. Unfortunately, he cannot.
Yeah,
match point here.
Yeah, match point, and I've got to say that was a lot more convincing out of 3 sets back, right? There was only 35 seconds, I want to say, where the Swedes were on the point, and I believe that was quite towards the start of the round. They got into that cycle, which I saw a lot of them, they're sort of falling into the habits I saw from that previous game, where they're sort of getting locked out of this forward hold, and they're not really finding a good way in, because obviously they push into one side of lobby, and then soldiers or scouts can get behind the other side, and yeah, I think Onkaya only really got 1 Uber out that entire round, because the people constantly in there, constantly harassing, constantly doing the damage, and yeah, just constantly just flanking around. But this time it seems like a bit more of an aggressive stance towards the left house or 3 sets back as they're going 2 for 1. Alba going to come in and try and equalise the score, but not get the kill into LFB, who's able to get out alive. Jakob in behind, going to be doing big work as well, as there's only a couple left. So maybe going to go in for the hero play onto concrete, not going to do anything. As Maverick, the only casualty, and Jakob is actually being very, very comedic out in front of spawn.
Very comedic indeed. 1 rocket jump and surely they hear him, but no, not quite. Can't land the rocket in a good position on Onkaya, and he's just able to surf out the way.
Scout and Scout and Medic were just around the corner a bit too far, and yeah, that's actually going to cost, right? Because Jakob now is down and only just respawning, and Jako's bleeding out as well. So now if Even's able to sneak his captain, no, it's taken low enough. There's a chance there, but now with Uber charge coming back in the other side, they can heal back up, heal everyone up, and potentially now use in. If Onkaya walks too far forward, if the combo starts trying to cap out, they're just going to get used in. Just they have to wait it out, and now this is going to be another 20 or so 3 seconds on the point. Oh, big shot there in the sit.
Yeah, LF Bean's doing well, obviously. Put his hair on the line a different day. Obviously wants to get to LAN. Uber trade coming in. Habina, he has to flash onto several more players, but it doesn't really seem to have done too much difference. Although forward hold, now it's broken, and top players, they can start streamlining towards the point, but LFB, he's got a lot of being of his own. They're doing a pretty good job of just crushing anyone that gets anywhere near the point. Jacka standing on it, deciding he wants to be a scout too.
I thought Jakob was going to be going in for some more madness again there, but decides just to back out, gets Gar very, very low, and actually gets him even lower on the second time of asking, as Gar is taken down on that right-hand side, as now walking in. Alba going to be getting a kill, but trading out his life. But Jacka is just walking through the house, okay? Jacka's getting behind so often, and gets in again for free onto Onkaya, even walking in. Bomb in from Satan. No. Oh no, actually, the sticks come in. Smeary able to land it onto Habina. Okay, that's a big salvage.
This is very messy here. Smeary goes down, but because of point, this is heals for stickies almost. And I would definitely prefer heals, and that's going to allow. But Pishaka, he's being sneaky again.
It can't keep working like shit. I know this time it doesn't, but he has so many opportunities trying to go in behind, trying to get in onto the medic that
this man is born to play roaming soldier, but has only unlocked the scout class. It's a man after Bevan's own heart. I've watched a lot of Beaven plays on like Twitch or when he's pugging, where he will just be perma behind all the time as well. But while this is all happening, Onkaya getting incredibly weak. Yeka was thinking about the flank, decides not to go to it, and says, I'll just take your demo man instead. And at this point, even though you have slight advantage on Potop, you are just looking at that clock, and that clock looks bleak.
Yeah, absolutely. And now they're trying to use their Uber in, and Habina doesn't have yet, so they're able to get a lot of space before this counter pop comes in. But actually going to flick with 10 seconds left, but the counter Uber is here now. 3 steps back, charging it onto the concrete, see if they can get in onto Onkaya, who's currently just having to take refuge in this left-hand house, as everyone's sort of feeding in, and good defense from Gar and Alba. They're able to keep him alive, at least temporarily. Habina's going to have to go all the way back, and point now being solidified by the Swedes. So there's a long hold yet. There's only 10 seconds on that clock, and it's 2 minutes for the Swedes, but they're in a position where it's possible. They're stabilizing a little bit, but it's such a long way to go from now.
And definitely possible, but the fact that Smirre goes down in that last fight very late means he's only just been able to put stickies up, and those stickies providing very efficient cover, managing to get a scout in the first couple of seconds that they're set, and that's just meant that Potop, they can just walk straight forward. Onkaya, 20 HP on that man, manages to get out of danger only just, and 3 steps back, really struggling to get this final 10 seconds. We'll go for attempt number 2. This time, Uber versus Uber trade on the cards, I'd say, very soon.
Yeah, it's halfway there, but it's going to be harder now, right? Because you're going to have an Uber trade, you're going to just have all the players getting into all the positions they want to be, and then the collapse will come afterwards. You're going to be jumping through. Naturally, Davey's going to be the one going in, getting out the fourth, but actually, 3 steps back are losing everyone. They've lost 3 players. LFB's going to be running out from the left-hand side through the grass as well.
He gets stuck on a wall.
Beaven's gone in and got the kill, so now it's advantage for Onkaya, but I'm not sure if there's... I guess there's just about time for Onkaya to get an Uber charge up before the end, right? So it's going to have to be quick, it's going to have to be fast, and this could be the 2-minute long hold. They're in the money for this.
Looked bleak at the start of that hold. It looks a whole lot better now. Bombs jumping in, trying to get space. They get the demo and they get the medic for 3 steps back. Only 10 seconds left. This is an absolute disaster. Pickaxe is out. But I don't think anything can really stop the fact that we are going to go to 2-2.
Yeah, they absolutely are. And yeah, Yekim's trying to jump around, trying to stay alive, trying to just be a thorn in the side. And actually now with Uber charge coming in, it's going to be basically impossible. You've got to think that Yekim and LFB is running around to the point. They're down 2 players already. Smeary has gone down, and Yekim is trying his best to do the damage, but his timer is ticking down. They're setting up on the point. Beaven's there as well. There's all these quick spawners are feeding players in, and actually, they're actually doing a pretty decent job of it. Maverick's still on the point, getting Uber sword by Onkaya. Beaven's low HP, needs an arrow. He's splashed out before the arrow can come. Wait a minute, this isn't over yet. Maverick still going in onto Onkaya, who's low HP. Going to be going all the way around towards the house. Maverick jumping up to try and deal with it, but the point does flip. What a ridiculous punch, that was Onkaya goes down.
What a rocket from Yeka there, gets juggled in mid-air, and now it's almost gone the other way. Red team have point, and it's looking fairly difficult for Potop to do it. They're starting to get spawners, and it's only 1 soldier in the point currently. LFBs versus Gar, both low, and Gar manages to get it.
That's 1 scattergun shot away from game over. Series done. That's literally 1 scattergun shot onto Gar away. And yeah, that was absolutely outrageous. But we go to round number 5.
Do you remember about a year ago the Ben PL semi-final or quarter-final bagel scout?
Oh, with me just circling around the point for like 20 seconds at the end.
Yeah.
He was literally ring around the rosy at the point for ages. Yeah, that was a funny clip. But hopefully we get something as entertaining as that to finish this final round, because it's 2-2 as we've got again this aggression from the left-hand house. Yaku and Maverick going in deep. going in aggressively, but actually it's the right-hand house that is happening. Davies even going over there as well as Jakob trades out. Big aggression coming in onto Smeary's combo. Smeary taking an arrow just as he's about to die. Just about staying alive with 59 HP, going to walk back across the point, but 2 soldiers down now. It's meaning that 3 steps back are going to have to start retreating away from this point unless they're able to get more kills. Bevan going down, Satan Week as well taken down. Okay, these kills are just flip-flopping either direction all the time. Habina going to be getting forced out as Alba trades across the point. Single scout Ubers either side, but going to be running in, trying to get onto but everyone on this blue side getting tight over towards the lobby.
They messed up all of the timings though. 3 steps back. Soldier jumps in way too early, instantly punished for it, couldn't get the damage out, and that just left Potop managing to clean up on everybody. Bina just managing to hit his respawn blind before he gets killed there. So really nice from him there, but still a little bit of advantage on Kaya. He used his Uber a lot earlier. So this really could be anyone's, but at the moment, 3 steps back, just take point again, and now I guess it's Potop's turn to do some point pressuring.
Well, we saw that ridiculous comeback that they had last time. It's like once they get the point, they are very good at holding on to it and held on for over 2 minutes straight last round, and this time they're going to have to deal with people in behind them, which is something we've seen them have trouble with previously. Jakob is currently just sat in lobby. There's a point being pressured down now. It seems like Gar is very much aware of it, and Bevan as well. Both of them trying to clear back, trying to get in onto Jakob, but he's just currently sat there as the rest of the team now pressuring out towards the point. Uber charges used from either side, but this is just going to work in 3 steps back's favour. They get the kill onto Bevan. And
Jakob starts walking in, but is really badly timed. Blue players still invulnerable. Second soldier bomb coming in straight onto Smearic, but that's all they can get. And this has been a disaster for 3 steps back. They get a lot of cap time, but now they're giving up the point.
Yeah, it's a really good hold, but eventually the spawn waves are going to work against you. The point of that, we keep trading back and forth. Yeah, Jakob there was so close to greatness, but bombed in just a second too soon, and with shiny players in front meant that bomb did a grand total of 0 damage, but that hold only lasted about 10 whole seconds, so I'm not particularly too happy for my Swede right now as they do all that work getting onto the point, but it just flipped back instantly.
Yeah, a lot of Swedish players on the back foot. Satan has to go collect his pack, and looking at the positioning here, definitely favouring 3 steps back. And are we going to be expecting an Uber trade from Onkaya very soon? I would assume so, as Jakob jumping in again. Manages to get the force, but that's a trade that they'd probably be fairly happy to take.
Yeah, absolutely. And now with the clock ticking down to 20 seconds, I feel like the Swedes are going to just leave this late once again, but actually losing more players in lobby might have to be even later than last time. 2 minutes 18 to 15 seconds. It's the current timing score, and the last time we saw them hold for over 2 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock. Now they might have to do something similar. 5 seconds on the clock, and they cap before it goes to overtime. That's going to be the all-important thing. It doesn't look like it, as Jakob's just on the point, raining death from the top of that point, and now Jack is in as well, and they're really trying to scramble for this. Low HPs on a lot of the players, and both the teams only 3 alive for the defending side of the 3 steps back, but the thing is they can always retreat, give up the point, and then come back in with better spawners if they so desire, but it doesn't seem like that's the way.
Yeah, they really don't need to contest point right now. Just let the top get onto it, and you're perfectly fine. And you just get punished for why are you trying to pressure the point there? You get such an advantage for letting them cap there, but you just pressure it a bit too hard, and now you lose your demo, you lose your medic. That big advantage that you could potentially have is just completely wiped out.
Big sacks.
Sacks coming in straight onto Onkaya. Really nice. Get onto it. All you need to do now, if you're on 3 steps back, is you die, or you go really far behind. So they do a pretty good job of that. Maybe Pajaka kind of taking a while to die, and now we can look at 3 steps back's attempt to break the forward hold with Uber.
Yeah, and with Maverick all the way behind his blue lobby as well, like you say, if you either die or get far enough behind there, it's okay. I'm not sure if the Swedes are aware that he's still there. It looks like Bush going to be making its way in through the grass. 60% already on Onkaya, so this could be rather touch and go with this push. Maverick going to be jumping in though, trying to cut him off. Going to be taking a lot of damage on Kaya, but getting out through main somehow. Ubercharge still chasing him down. LFE's going to be trying to take the fight, but it's so awkward. Kaya's still alive, and they'll take it down in main finally. But all the action is occurring on the point where the Swedes are winning in terms of frags once again, and this could not be lightning striking twice, surely, right? They're not going to hold another ridiculously long clutch up.
That was just another soldier in the back lanes just messing up the timing there. He walked lower, went for the jump, but Onkaya was all the way walking towards lobby from concrete there. If he just stayed on pack, he would have just completely dismantled their push. But no, he jumps out, gets the wrong doorway, and gets massively punished for it. But meanwhile, all of this is happening 3 steps back. They've got so much damage on all of the players, and they just walk and dominate point here. And that's 2 map wins, 3 step back. They're going to take the victory in this game. Does that mean they're going to LAN? Not necessarily. Does it help their chances? Immensely.
Yeah, it's one of those, I think, like obviously if you lose all your games in this group, you're not going to LAN. If you win one, it's basically like the worst you can have is that you're in like a tiebreak scenario where like there's like a 3-way tie or a 2-way tie on 1 point. I speak to Supra if you want to know what happens in those scenarios, because I don't know. I honestly don't know if it's written down anywhere, but yeah, like obviously the wins all count, and I think for the most part having a win on the board really gets you out of that certain doom position, right, when you're on 0 points, because these 2 teams came in having lost their previous week's fixture. So yeah, to see the 3 sets back come in, that's a massive boom for them. But yeah, the Swedes not out of it just yet. They can win. If they win in their next game tomorrow and then equalize it, they're then like there's a chance of getting through on tiebreakers depending on what the tiebreakers are. But yeah, otherwise it's looking potentially like doom and gloom for them.
Well, we have to have some of the glorious players that used to rule over Prem back at poLANd again, showing why they deserve to be in these top tiers. I believe in them. They are the team that if I was supporting a team, I would definitely say full support for these boys, or I guess old men now.
Yeah, I was absolutely, but yeah, like I say, great play by both these teams. Honestly, I was really impressed by how the Swedes battled on that bagel game, because I saw them literally play it last week and they got absolutely destroyed. But this game, they really fought, they dug in, and those last 2 rounds, like it's as if they something inside them gets activated when they're like 2 minutes down on the clock and they're like facing trouble, right? And there's something inside them activates, and they really just turn on the afterburners and really go for it. And yeah, like we get some and have a look at some logs. Alba 42 and 12. That is some
Wow.
That's some Koth scout logs if ever I've seen them.
Albert activated for that one. One of the things that I kind of kept in the corner of my eye all the time was the I think it was the Bevan versus Pajaka flank scout match, which was hilarious to watch, because like it was just like round 1 and then one of them would take the lead. Round 2, they always seemed to be in like some MGE server of their own. All of the team would just be fighting, but then there'll just be Bevan and Pajaka to the side taking their 1v1.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, apart from that brief escapade on over towards the heavy weapons class, yeah, Pajaka was constantly I guess if you have to go 344 on flank scout is also pretty impressive. But everyone's honestly like the height of these DPMs, like basically everyone getting over 300 is just a testament to how chaotic and scrappy that game was. Right, when you get those long double overtimes where there's everyone piling themselves onto the point, you're bound to get scenarios like that. And yeah, it just turned out that that those frags over on the 3 sets back just about push them over the finishing line. Yeah, of course, despite the 42 and 12. I did sort of ingest, say, scout logs on Koff, but of course 42 and 12 is still absurd. That's
Yeah,
still
definitely.
very impressive. And yeah, nearly topping out on DPM as well, but they're going to be back in action tomorrow. There has been another game happening tonight in the qualifiers, and based on the scenarios that's going to leave us in the group stage, we'll pick a game tomorrow to cover, and that will be it then for the poLANd 2024 online qualifiers. We will know the full 16 teams. We'll be back with, I think, there's going to be the format and the other things like spectator tickets and stuff dealt with by then. But yeah, come back tomorrow to see the conclusion of these qualifiers, see who these 3 teams are that are going to be going to LAN. So, any last words, man? Are we up?
Big shout outs to our very sleepy producer J-Max, and shout out to my friend Skip that managed to jump in the Twitch at one point to say hi. Nice to see his name again. But yeah, I think we'll wrap it up here. Unless you have any words to say.
No, we'll just say see you all tomorrow, and yeah, best luck to the teams and getting to LAN.